The Executive Council convened a special meeting this afternoon to review the draft legislation for Article 23, aiming to have it taken to the legislature for the first and second readings tomorrow morning. The very same day tomorrow, the Legislative Council is expected to gazette the draft security bill.
以早一日得一日嘅原則完成立法。
A call for the swift handling of Article 23 legislation by Chief Executive John Lee when he returned to the SAR from Beijing on Tuesday. Just 2 days later, it's understood the Executive Council convened a special meeting in the afternoon. Secretary for Constitutional and Mainland Affairs Eric Tsang gave no comment to the press as to what was discussed. But a government announcement came soon after the 2-hour meeting. The statement said that the Safeguarding National Security Bill will be gazetted on Friday. Chief Executive John Lee had written to LegCo President Andrew Leung saying that the legislative work on Article 23 of the Basic Law is a constitutional duty for the entire SAR, and the legislature should make every effort to complete the legislation process as soon as possible. The CE said the earlier that national security can be safeguarded, the earlier the city can fully focus on its economic development and maintaining its long-term prosperity and stability. In a prompt reply, the LegCo president said, given the necessity and urgency of the bill, a special meeting will be convened at 11 a.m. on Friday for its first and second readings, the same day of its planned gazetting. Tam Yu Chung, a former lawmaker and vice president of the Chinese Association of Hong Kong and Macau Studies, said the expedited procedure could build more trust and enhance support from the central government towards Hong Kong. Meanwhile, Secretary for Justice Paul Lam and Secretary for Security Chris Tang attended a LegCo meeting on Article 23 for a second day. On the proposed incitement with intent charges, which cover intention to stir hatred and hostility towards Hong Kong and different districts in China, the Justice Chief said it doesn't include personal vendettas, but could encompass insulting descriptions about mainland tourists, such as incitement of hatred towards parallel traders in Shengshui. Lawmaker Peter Kuhn, also an Anglican pastor, relayed the religious sector's concerns about political confessions.
During confession, if somebody expresses anger towards the government, if this person has some radical thought, there is no need to report on his confessions. Not reporting it will not constitute an offense. However, if you hear about any harmful act, whether or not you are somebody from the religious sector or not, you should try to convince the person to do otherwise.
Secretary for Justice Paul Lam reiterated again today that while the government is considering allowing those arrested for state secrets offences to be entitled to the public interest defence, the threshold will be high and the conditions will be clearly spelled out in the bill.